It's too early in the morning. It is Sunday morning, November the 2nd. And, yeah, a lot's gone on in the past week or so. So apparently I found out that I am the butt of a joke at work. A joke. I'm going to put that in quotations because it is actually a harassment, which I had to report to the VP. The VP is actually HR. Because it is a family-owned company, the vice president is the HR department. So I walk into work, and in a restaurant, 86 means that you are out of something, or that you're going to be out of something. It's going away. There will be no more of. To be 86th. 86 also, in a slang term, is to get rid of. On the whiteboard where we write down things that we are out of, it says my name. According to all hearsay, at least 4 associates, employees, they have seen it written before, and it was erased. They claim to know who wrote it, or the group associated that wrote it. It's like 4 people in this little group. But they all claim they know who wrote it based on how it's written or who they've seen write it or whatever, but I have no solid evidence whatsoever. Okay. So I have a picture of this, and the handwriting at first to me looked like female. About 2 days later, I'm like looking at people's handwritings. The way that boys do E's, however, could be a boy. Now, a couple of sketchy things happen in between. We've got Halloween and stuff in between. So, I report this to the VP, and the VP goes, hey, get with your other manager, do a little investigating, and see what you guys can find out, and your area manager will be there on Saturday. Okay, cool. This is like Thursday. So night shift comes in, night manager comes in. There's only 2 of us, and I send him screenshots of the conversation and everything going on, just to update him, because managers have to communicate. And he doesn't respond. So when I go to leave, I'm like, hey, I sent you a message. He goes, oh yeah, like the thing. I was like, yeah, if you could get with me later or whatever, I'd prefer this to be private. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Okay. So I leave. I come back the next morning. I open the entire, I leave, I go home, I get a call in the middle of the night by one of the servers. She's whispering in the phone. I have the recording. I recorded the phone call. Apparently the manager took 2 of the ones in the group who did work that night. They all seem to work the same shifts together, all 4 of them. Anyway, they work night shift, mostly during the weekends. And apparently he took 2 of them, a server and a deli, into the office and shut the door. Well, there was another deli person in there originally, and they kicked him out. And according to that person, They were acting very sketchy, very shifty, very not normal. I said, well, that's because one or all of them did it. And since originally I thought it was a female's handwriting, I blamed the female. Because I knew the other person didn't work that night. The fourth person did not work that night. And I knew her handwriting. So I could only assume it was the other female. My assumption probably is wrong. Again, can't prove anything because the cameras don't point in that direction. The cameras point towards the cook line and not towards the dish area where the whiteboard is. We need more cameras in the back. We need more cameras in the front. But anyway, apparently they come out of the office, I guess in the office, from what I'm assuming happened, from what all the stories that I'm gathering happened. They came up with this brilliant idea of, hey, let's put on a ruse, thinking that, oh, I told you off and you're taking the blame for this, and, you know, maybe she'll just let it go. So they came out of the office and they're hooting and hollering, oh, you're in such trouble and blah 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 and whatever. And yeah. And that's when the other server, they called me and they're like, oh my god, this is what's happening, this is blah 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 blah, because they knew it would get back to me. That's the point. Yeah, that's the point. But they said something in there, in the recording, that really still makes me question a lot of things as to who was where, to be quite honest. Because the fourth person claims they weren't there. They weren't working that night, but they claim they weren't there at all. However, according to my recording, they were there. They just weren't working that night. Because, according to the server, the one female went to the other female and explained to them this, that, and the other, and was like pretending to be like, oh, if they fire me, they're gonna fire me, faking. And the other one, the fourth one, was like, oh, they can't prove it's a threat, they can't prove anything, da, da, da. So why would the server say that that person was there if they weren't there? Again, all hearsay. But yeah, the fourth person absolutely denies even being in the building. I don't believe anybody at this point. So I'm forwarding all this information over to the VP, updating him on everything. I'm absolutely livid that they put on a show to try to shut me up over this, over a harassment that's been going on. It's malicious. Let's get rid of Faye. It's funny. Let's get rid of Faye. We don't like Faye. Let's make fun of her behind her back. Let's plot against her. And I was proven right, because the next day is Halloween, Friday. They block off the roads for Halloween, and my car's stuck in the back. I can't get through the barricade until about 5:30. So after my shift, about 4 o'clock, I tell the other manager, hey, look, I'm done. Like, I'm clocking out. I'm going to go sit down. He, oh, okay. And then he acts stupid for a little while, wandering around, checking computers for some reason. I don't know. And then he ends up back in the kitchen. I guess he didn't want to be clocked in. He still wanted to be outside where everybody else was handing out candy. But we didn't have any more candy to hand out. He needed to get his butt inside and do his job. And everybody comes in. Night shift is coming in or whatever. And one of my day shift people spills the beans of what's going on to one of the night shift bartenders that has a big mouth. She has no clue what's going on, or at least pretends that has no clue what's going on. She runs to the fourth person, tells them that I'm blaming her, that her name is thrown out there, and whatever. So the fourth person literally goes up and comes in my face. It wasn't me. That's not my handwriting. I wasn't even working that night. And I did stare at her. I said, I know this. I never said it was you. Oh, well, they're telling me that I'm the one to blame. They who? Give me a name. I know exactly who it is, but they who? So they're escalating the drama by rumor milling around and then mobbing me. So I know all the tactics because I worked in HR. I'm not playing this game. So I'm completely gray rocking all of them. No emotion whatsoever. I'm gray rocking all of them. I'm just sitting there playing on my phone, eating my food. I got the brilliant idea of how much are they trying to throw me under the bus? Let's find out. So I tell the bartender with the big mouth that I want to order my manager meal. Now, every morning, everybody knows, every morning I come in, I make a salad or something simple so I can take my medication, because I have to take at least 200, 300 calories with my medication. I have to. So I have to make a meal. My VP is well aware of it. The owner of the company is well aware of it. They've approved that I get an extra meal no matter what. My area manager is well aware of it. And he will make sure that I take my meds in the morning and that I eat something. And if I want a lunch, I'm allowed to get a second lunch or a second meal for free because of my medication. I don't have a choice. It's not a privilege of getting 2 free meals because I'm special or anything. I get 2 free meals because I don't go overboard with my free meals. I don't always get a second one. I get a second one maybe once a week at best. Robert's bag. But yeah, at best once a week, once every other week, I'll get a second one. I don't abuse the privilege. So I was like, I'm gonna get my manager meal or whatever, fully knowing I had a salad this morning. Fully knowing I already have all this approval. They're not aware of all of this because it's none of their business. They need to stay in their lane. It's not their business. It's none of the other manager's business either, because he's not my manager. I'm not his manager. He doesn't need to be tracking me. He doesn't need to be keeping up with whatever I'm doing. I don't need to be keeping up with whatever he's doing. So I went and had that voided off as my meal. And then I was like, by the time I was ready to leave, they unbarricaded and everything. I was ready to leave. I was like, oh, Robert's jealous that I had this and it's his favorite thing. Can you order that for him to go as well? And I'll comp it and stuff and do that through the computer. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. But what I did was I went through the system and I comped it completely off. I let my VP know I did this on purpose. I took 2 extra free meals on purpose. I fully intended on paying the second meal fully without a comp the next day. He was well aware. Hang on. Anyway. So I get it to go. I go into the office I go into the office and I look up because I gotta get my meds. Obviously, I leave them in the office so nobody can pick them up. I go to get my meds, and then I go to get my sweater, and I look up. Our security camera is rewound and zoomed in on me making my salad in the morning at 8:34 a.m. It's time stamped, date stamped, everything. I'm right there making my salad. Why is he checking up on me? Why does he feel the need to see if I had a meal this morning? Why is it any of his business what I'm doing? To try to catch me in doing something immoral or stealing from the company or whatever, to throw me under the bus so that he can get me fired. You see what I'm saying? 86 Faye. Get rid of Faye. So then my brain started going, he's part of it. He's part of it. I kind of suspected it to begin with the whole like hoopla, fake, you're in trouble thing that'll get back to me. That's when I started to suspect it, because that was BS to begin with. I was like, that's fishy. No manager acts like that. Granted, he's 19, but no manager acts like that. That's sketchy. But I was like, how much involved is he in this? So I took a picture of it, I sent it to the VP. I said, so why is he watching me? VP responds, I don't know, ask him. I didn't respond. I simply got my stuff. I walked out the door. I didn't change the screen, nothing. I left it all up there. I even pointed it out to one of my morning bartenders. I was like, hey, so by the way, apparently I'm on camera. She goes, oh, maybe he was looking for something. Uh-huh. I'm sure he was. An excuse to get me fired. So I get home. By the time I get home, it takes me an hour almost to get home, especially with traffic on that mountain. Some people are really slow, and I get behind some slow people. So I get home, and a message pops up because I only have Wi-Fi on my phone. I don't have cell service. I only have Wi-Fi. So a message pops up as soon as my Wi-Fi connects to my house. Hey, Faye, I don't see a payment for your burger. Whatever. So I made it an excuse because the VP is well aware of what's going on. I made an excuse. Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. I'll pay it tomorrow. I got it. No worries. And then I messaged the VP. I say, hey, can I call you? He goes, yeah, sure. No, my VP has the best demeanor of any manager you could ever have. The best demeanor. He thinks everything is just smooth sailing, like the best. So I called him, and I'm sitting on the porch in the dark because it's Halloween. You can't have your porch light on and sit on the porch. Even on a busy road like this, people will stop. And I was like, that's pretty sketchy, isn't it? He goes, yeah, I'm really uncomfortable with him checking up on you like that. Like, that's not his place to do so. And if he had any concerns about, your management or anything going on, he needs to address that with me or your area manager. Like, not be doing all this. He was like, it's shady. Like I question that. And I was like, exactly. I said, my working theory right now is I think all four of them are involved in this. I can't prove anything, but right now I feel the blame lies on him because he is, one, the manager in the building, two, it happened on his shift, and three, the way that he's handling all of this is very unprofessional and makes him guilty as hell. And he goes, my VP goes, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He goes, I can see that. I can see that logic. And I said, I said, if he feels he's under the impression that getting rid of every manager in the building is going to make him GM at 19 years old, he's got another thing coming, because he can't even get an ABC management license. Like, he can't do anything. And he kind of laughed. He was like, about that, he said, the new guy coming in December has 10 years experience with the business, and he's GM level. He goes, I hate to, because I'm in the running actually to be promoted at some point in time to be GM if I want it. That was put out in the beginning, that I have the experience level, and that's what they want me to be. I was like, my feelings aren't hurt. We need a GM. We need somebody in there. We need more people in there. He goes, this guy's no nonsense. He's not going to put up with all of this. I said, good. Good. We need that. I said, we need him like yesterday. I can't wait till December. And he was, I think, relieved that I wasn't upset over it. I'm not upset over it. I don't need a promotion right now. I'm dealing with still figuring out the business and where I fit in, because clearly I don't. But, I'm figuring out my management style in a restaurant. I've never managed a restaurant before. It's a lot different than other places I've managed. Like retail, way different. Like the bowling alley, way different. A lot more high school drama, a lot more rumor milling, a lot more shady behind your back stuff, a lot more fighting with each other to their face. But if you look at their Facebook friends list, they're all friends, but they claim to hate each other. Yeah, I don't add nobody to my friends list that I work with, point blank period, unless they're manager level, and I would not add him. No. Hold on. Okay, anyway. So that's Friday night. He doesn't know, obviously. I don't think he knows that I'm well aware that he's been monitoring me, apparently. He doesn't know that my theory is that he's part of this group of 4 that I fully suspect. I don't care whose writing it is right about now. All 4 of them are guilty, in my opinion. All 4 of them. And the fact that he's a manager, he is absolutely on my shit list right now. I don't know how to co-manage with someone like that has that mindset of wanting to constantly throw you under the bus, that is 19 years old, that is hanging around a bunch of other little children, that has the mindset of a high schooler even though he's a dropout. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do with that information. I don't know where to process that yet, so I've kind of recoiled into myself lately. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. And I have to figure out how to go in there and do more of a step back approach. Because everybody in there thinks that they run the place to begin with. I've had 2 different people try to boss me around, and if he thinks that he can manage me or whatever, he's got another thing coming. Because if we're at the same level, I'm going to start putting him in his place, right back in his lane. Because he will come in and automatically, is all the prep done? Well, excuse the hell out of me. I do the prep that needs to get done. And if it's not done, according to our management training program that we spent 4 to 6 weeks doing, prep can still get done at night. When your deli workers are taking 4 or 5 30-minute breaks, they have plenty of time to go make some hamburgers and some chicken patties and do the dishes. And I mean, why does my morning crew have to do all the work? No, we're not playing that game anymore. Y'all are not going to be privileged of having an easy ride anymore. And then try to still throw me under the bus. They don't pull the breads overnight so they thaw. So I end up with having frozen bread in the morning when I have to pull it out of the deep freeze. They don't wrap the breads correctly, so most of them are molding or hard. You know, they're not restocking like they're supposed to at night anyway. They're not cleaning properly, but when they do clean, they try to boast about it by sending pictures and oh, this person did this. Yeah, once a month. That's great. That should be a daily cleaning thing, buddy. Not once a month. But good job. Great teamwork. So, if I can get control of my sarcasm level right about now, I need to figure out how to put him right back in his lane and remind him of his managerial duties and what he needs to be doing on his own shift, and not worry about what happened on my shift, because what happened on my shift got done. I can guarantee that. And that's between me and my area manager, and me and my GM to be, and me and my VP. Who all can see computer monitors and everything, two of which the VP said he's not comfortable with him having access anymore with the computer monitoring system. He's going to change the passwords and deny him access to even check up on me ever again. So that's one thing that he has put into place as a preventative measure, to start to put this guy back in his lane where he belongs, to make him realize that he's not going to take over the building, and he's not going to push me out, and he's not going to boss me around. Not at 19 years old. I am 43. You are not going to boss me around. All his little buddies have tried to do so too. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to find my voice, and I'm going to start standing up for myself. And I really hope the new GM that comes in is a hard ass, and I hope I can learn something from him on how to be more assertive, and how to hold people to be responsible for themselves and to be accountable. And I have a lot of difficulty with that. I want to learn that, and I'm going to have that conversation with him when he comes in. I want to learn that from them. I need somebody like that in that building to learn from, because nobody's ever taught me how to be a manager, and I am learning through trial and error, and I'm making a lot of errors, and I don't know how to fix a lot of them. So the only thing I can do is just learn from them and just continue to move on. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. It's just, that drama was last week. Granted, it's Sunday. That drama was last week. I was a little too involved in it. It got the best of me. And I can start fresh on Monday, because all of next week I am on the closing shift, which never happens. I'm the opening manager. I'm on all the closing shifts next week, except for the weekend, which means I'm going to end up running across probably all three of them, at least three of the employees. The other manager I run across constantly. It's literally an exchange of, I counted the retail drawer, you're good to go. And then I'm out the door. I don't need permission to leave. You're here, your people are here, you're fully staffed, you need nothing from me. Trust me, you need nothing from me. I'm good. I make my own call. I'm gone. If you absolutely need help, I'm pretty sure I can make that judgment call that you have like 10 tickets up and you only have one deli worker and your dishes are piled up. Yeah, I'll probably jump on dish or something. I'll help you out if I see it needs to be done. I'm done asking if he needs anything else from me. I'm just gonna be like, I'm done. Bye. Maybe I can do a checklist as soon as I walk in. Retail drawers done. Dish is caught up. Everybody is clocked in, or at least you need to make sure they're clocked in on their that are for night shift. Other than that, I don't see any tickets up that you need help with. I don't see dish that you need help with. I'm out of here. Oh, is prep done? Well, if you need something, make it. But I'm out of here. Bye. I mean, you tell me how better to phrase it, because I have no freaking clue. I'm so agitated. Did you pull bread last night? No. Did you pull bread for the past 2 months? No. Do I come in the morning and text message, did you forget to pull bread today? No, you walk in, you do your damn job. You see it needs to get done, you fucking do it. That's literally our training. And my area manager agreed with me yesterday. When I opened the building, he came in at about like 11:30. He's always late. There's always a reason. But he came in around 11:30. And he goes into his inventory thing because it's the end of the month. And he's like, he'll every now and then come back. You need me? You good? No, I'm good. I've got 3 tickets. I'm all by myself on the line. I got a person prepping over here. I got somebody cleaning over here. I'm good. I'm delegating. Smooth sailing, buddy. I'll let you know when I need help. He's like, okay, cool. He did that like 3 times. Are you good? I'm PG Keen over here, buddy. I don't need help. I'll let you know when I need help. That's how I work with my area manager. Like if I need help, I'll ask for help. He'll jump in. I'm good. I know how to delegate. It's one thing I'm good at is delegating. Everybody knows their job. Also, morning crew is very good at jumping in where they see that help is needed. They see dishes piled up and I'm stuck on the line. They're going to run a rack through it for me. No questions asked. They don't care. My retail person has started to do it in the morning. Cool beans. My retail person gets paid a little bit more than my servers, but I mean, that's awesome. I don't ask it of them. They do it because they want to. I like that. They want to be team players. They want to help each other out. They want to make the shift easier. They don't want to leave me stranded all by myself doing everything. I love that. I love my morning crew. My night crew apparently hates me. But they don't even know me. I've worked with them maybe a handful of times in the past few months. They don't know me. They haven't tried to get to know me. And now they've upset me. And they've had this whole campaign against me. So now there's tension. Resolve that one, Batman. But anyway, he was there yesterday, and the line clears up, and I got one deli person taking a break outside. She's trying to figure out something with her car. Her car broke. She's trying to figure out how to get a ride home and how to get to work the next day and everything like that. So I'm like, make your phone calls, whatever. So she's outside making her phone calls. Robert's in the prep area because we work together. He's in the prep area making food. I go over to the dish area to kind of clear it up a little. I've only got like 2 full racks going on and like a stack of cups that needs to be taken over to the cup section. And he comes up to me and he puts his hand on my shoulder. You okay? And like dead serious look. You okay? Kind of like an older brother, a dad, kind of, like that feeling that you get, like that protective, like, you good? I was like, honestly, No, not right now. He goes, all right. And I was like, the drama's a bit too much right now, and I'm not sure how to handle it. Yeah, I'm not experienced in this. And I laid it all out for him, and how I blame the other manager fully. And he was like, oh, that's why do you say that? And I explained why. Because, you know, of how he's handling everything. And he agreed with me. He goes, yeah, that's not how a manager acts. That's unprofessional. You know, he goes, I'm gonna have a talk with him. He goes, like, what do you want to happen? I said, I need somebody to sit his ass down and be like, look, this is how it is. This is your lane. and this is how you're acting, and this is not okay. This is not acceptable. And if we have to sit down and talk to you about this again, you're gone. And my area manager was like, he was like, okay. Like dead serious. Like, this is your warning. Do it again, anything similar again, anything like that, you're gone. I'm not going to tolerate it. So I'm going to assume he agreed with me. He said, I'll talk to him. I said, okay. He said, matter of fact, I'm going to talk to the staff too. I said, okay, I'm going to hold you to it. So I'm going to give him a couple of days, see what happens. I'm going to let him do his thing. And I cleared up some other issues I had with him. I had one specific issue I had with him with communication between him and I. And we got that squared away. He was like, you know, us managers, we got to be able to talk. We got to be able to just, even the hard stuff, we got to be able to just be like, look, you pissed me off, or you said the wrong thing, or you could have said this differently, or, you know, I need help understanding this. He's like, you don't be afraid to just be like, look, you know, he's like, we need to be able to talk. I said, at this point, I cannot communicate with the other manager. I cannot. Because every time I talk to him, it feels like he's being very condescending, and he is, because he has this campaign of out to get me. And I am uncomfortable, and I cannot co-manage with him at this time. And I think he understood why. That I need to work on probably boundary setting, and he needs to learn where my boundaries are, and my boundaries are, you're not going to try to manage me. It's not going to happen. You're not going to try to backpedal and manage my shift that's already done. That's not going to happen. You're not going to try and tell me what I did wrong and what I need to get done. My shift's over. See you tomorrow. Start fresh tomorrow. And that's another thing that I brought up. I was like, I'm really getting sick and tired of everybody coming in the afternoon and blaming morning shift for being so busy that they couldn't restock something or clean something. I said, it's your job and your job description to restock and clean stuff as well. If you see it needs to get done, do it. He goes, exactly. I said, then explain that to them, because I've been trying to explain that to them, and they keep trying to play this little blame game and sending pictures to the managers. Why isn't this done right? Why is this organized incorrectly? Blah, blah, blah. At least it's half done. You give nobody any credit for being busy, or maybe they just didn't feel good and they didn't feel like running up 2 flights of stairs to grab stuff and come back down constantly. You know, whatever. It ain't all about you. You don't run this place. If you see it needs to get done, do your job. It's your shift now. Congratulations. I walk into a hot mess every freaking morning. I had a dirty dish area where they didn't clean out the sink or the drainage areas, and I've got little flies buzzing around now. I've told them a dozen times to clean it out. Do they do it? Half the time? No. They don't pull bread. They don't restock. They don't clean majority of the stuff they need to be cleaning. And do I take pictures and send it to my managers, and do I bitch about it all day long? I mean, I'll complain about it to myself, or maybe I'll mention it once or twice, but, I'm getting better at that. You gotta lead by example. I'm getting better at that. But overall, it's my shift now. I came into that. I see it needs to get done. That's the first thing I'm doing. I need bread for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go pull bread. I need this dish pit cleaned so that I can have, a functioning dish pit and not flies buzzing around my head. I'm gonna clean out the sink. It takes all of 2 minutes to do. It's not that freaking hard. It also takes an hour for you to keep complaining about it. I mean, how do you put that across to somebody? Grow up. Do your shit. It's now your shift. You have inherited all of this mess. It is yours. Congratulations. Get it done. Sorry, not sorry. Welcome to the restaurant business. There's not prep done. Guess what? My prep guy stood there for 8 hours straight doing all sorts of prep all day long, and he didn't get a break. Your deli guys at night get 4 or 5 breaks for however God knows long, and it gets to goof around and everything. They play food fight. I've got them on camera food fighting and stuff. You've seen it, towel fighting and stuff. They're goofing around. You got time to goof around. You got time to do some freaking prep work too. Why does my guy have to stand there for 8 hours straight? That's not fair to him. That's not fair to me either. I need somebody on the line. I don't need somebody standing over there for 8 hours not helping me. What the hell? Two of which, that's not helping Robert learn anything on the line. He's struggling, and he's been there for almost a month now. He's been there for a month now. He still hasn't learned a lot of the stuff on the line, but I tell you what, he knows everything in prep. He knows all our recipes. That's not fair to him. If I need help on the line, he can't jump in and help me now. Because that's gonna change. That's gonna freaking change. Because I do have somebody that can do prep in the mornings. And I'm gonna start pulling Robert on the line and making him learn some stuff. That's gonna change. A lot of things are going to change. My attitude is going to change right now. I'm done being the nice guy. I'm done being pushed around. I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to run a business, and I need to keep reminding myself of that. And my VP, he has told me flat out, he was like, "Ain't nobody 86 in Faye. Your job is so very secure. You're amazing." I love you in that position. And then my area manager on yesterday literally was like, "Remember why you're here. Why we have you here. We want you here. Because you have the experience. We need you. Remember why you're here." Let them have their BS high school drama. Let them act like freaking children and piss each other off. You run this business. I'm gonna run this business. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this. They got the best of me last week. It ain't ever gonna get the best of me again. Lesson learned. But if y'all have any advice on how to put another manager in their lane that is at the same level as you, that thinks that, one, they can push you out or blackmail you in some way, and two, that they can boss you around and have all their little friends boss you around when they're 20, 30 years younger than you, and you're a new manager, you're still learning to be assertive. Give me your best advice on how to be assertive without being bitchy. I mean, maybe I have to be bitchy. I don't know. Anyway, let me finish my coffee. He's in there making breakfast. Yeah. Anyway, And I work tonight. And I work night shift almost every night this week. Every night this week. This is going to be fun. Y'all pray for me.